Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stogie Geeks News for August 28th, 2015. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, joined on the lines via Skype, of course, by Mr. Will Cooper. Welcome, Will.
Greetings, Paul. Greetings, everybody.
So, what's going on in the world of cigars, Will?
Well, at the IPCPR, we're still starting to see a lot of releases about to make their way to the market. And one cigar that was, I want to say, relaunched at the 2015 IPCPR was the Coronado by La Flor Dominicana, which is a yep.
Oh, there's an interesting story about this cigar that I want to just tell really quick. When I first started getting into cigars, like really hardcore, I went and I read everyone's blog, and I read everyone's top 10 list. And Coronado by La Flor showed up in a few people's top 10 lists, especially in that double Corona size. So it was a really popular cigar. It was very well rated. I mean, to be in people's top 10 lists, it's got to be a good cigar. And I went to go seek it out, and so much time had passed, it had kind of like fizzled out and gone under the radar. So I'm really happy for La Flor Dominicana to bring that back, and I wish them the best of luck with it, and I can't wait to smoke the new ones. Is this the same blend, Will?
It's the same blend. So what they're doing is essentially they're bringing it back under new packaging. So the packaging is going to be a little more in line with what you see around La Flor Dominicana. It's going to have an LFD kind of scripted band on that. Blend's going to be exactly the same. Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, Dominican binder, and filler. Same 5 sizes. The Corona Especial, Toro, Double Toro, Corona Gorda, and that Double Corona that you liked.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to smoke those when they hit the shelves again.
Yeah, a footnote on that too, and you mentioned top 10. This in 2006 was the number 2 cigar by Cigar Aficionado, but it was one of those cigars that, since a Cuban, which was the Bolivar, was number 1, it was that number 1 cigar in the free world. So this was a big cigar, and a lot of people were surprised when La Flor discontinued it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, cool. I can't wait to review it.
Yeah, me neither.
So what else you got?
Well, in the meantime, Kristoff Cigars has launched a couple of cigars at the trade show. And these cigars both have a regional theme. They have launched the Kristoff Cameroon, which is the first cigar that's using an African Cameroon wrapper by Glenn Case's company. And they've also introduced the Kristoff San Andreas, it's not the first San Andreas they've done, but they're calling this one San Andreas, which is obviously going to be using a San Andreas Mexican wrapper. Interesting thing about these 2 cigars is they seem to have gone back to what I call classic Kristoff, namely the rough cut type of box, the rustic boxes with the tobacco leaves in them, and kind of the rough bands on them, the ruggedness, so kind of that always had that charm. So both of these cigars are going back to basics for Glenn Case here.
I was talking to our local Kristoff representative. His name is Jared, super guy. And he was telling me a little of the story behind the Cameroon, how they, procured it, rolled some cigars with it. They didn't know what to do with it for a while, and they finally, got a blend right and decided to release it. So I'm very anxious to smoke this cigar. In fact, I hope to see him today. I'm going to ask him if he has some samples for us to smoke, Will, because I love, we did that segment on Cameroon. It was so popular. It's a wonderful wrapper, and I can't wait to see what Kristoff is going to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I heard about this cigar, I heard about it about 6 months ago that they were working on this, and it was very, very intriguing to me just to see what Glenn and his team could come up with in terms of the blends there. So same thing with me. It's going to be, the Cameron's going to be in 3 sizes: a Robusto, a Churchill, and a 6.5 by 56 called the Matador. And the San Andreas is also going to be 3 sizes: a Robusto, a Churchill, and a 6 by 60.
Excellent. What else you got?
Illusione at the show showed off their 2015 Singular called the Miserere, which is going to be the latest installment in their Singular line, which is a true limited line that Dion has done. Basically, every year, for the most part, he has come out with a one-and-done release. And this one is going to be the 2015 edition. It's going to be a 6 3/4 by 48 Churchill size. So it's kind of going to be right in that classic Churchill range. It's going to be a Nicaraguan Puro, which is going to feature the Epernay wrapper. According to what I've done, the name Miserere is Latin for have mercy. So that's kind of where they got that line from. That's really the only new blend that Dion came out with this year at the show, because the other two were line extensions, the Fume de Amor and Original Documents.
So the 2014 Singular was off the charts. We rated it extremely high across the board here at the Stogie Geeks. So I'm interested to see what the 2015 brings.
Yeah, and like I said, that 14 used the Epernay wrapper as well. So I believe, as far as the 15 goes, I think, obviously that's a special wrapper, that Cafe Rosado wrapper that Dion's used. He's had a lot of success with it. So obviously he's using this for some of his really special cigars.
Yeah, that's awesome. They make some great cigars. So
Last couple of years, he's really had taken it to another level, I think.
That's the thing about the news, Will. I can't wait to smoke all three of these cigars that we talked about.
That's the most fun about talking about it. Yeah.
I'm dying with anticipation over here. That's great. Did you have any other?
Yes, this one's going to be out a little later in the year.
Okay.
So this is towards the end of the year.
Did you have any other news that you wanted to mention? I think we still have a couple minutes.
Yeah, I think one other thing that we just kind of, if for folks who are familiar with Altadis, Gene Tipton, who was kind of an icon with the company, he retired last year after like half a century, literally in the cigar business. This week it was announced he is joining the team at Sindicato as its vice president of sales. So, and there's a relationship with Gene and Sindicato CEO Jim Colucci, who were both at Altadis. So, I'll be honest, I think Sindicato does need to make some improvements as far as headway, as far as sales go. So I think they're reaching to someone, obviously, they're comfortable with to go with that.
Yeah, I've heard of Sindicato before. I don't know if we reviewed a lot of their cigars. Well, I don't know if you've posted reviews to your blog.
Yeah, we have some reviews out on Coop. I've reviewed the several of their lines. I think the best of their lines are the Sindicato branded cigars, which are coming out of Casa Fernandez. They have a little bit of a higher price point right now. But Sindicato was a company that was started by a group of retailers around the country. So obviously it's been met with some skepticism, so to speak. But I think a lot of the cigars they've done, along with the Affinity, which is their Connecticut, they've been some pretty good cigars. So maybe it's just a matter of seeing how they can help them get the market a little better right now.
Excellent. As always, you can check out the Stogie Geeks show live 8:30 p.m. every Thursday evening, where we do the big show. And of course, if you go to our website, stogiegeeks.com, you can get linked to our Cigar Coop, of course, Will's blog, where all the news and reviews are posted. You can also gain access to the Stogie Geeks shorts and this Stogie Geeks news segments, and you can subscribe however you like, whether you use iTunes, whether you use Android, whatever podcast feed catcher you use. You can subscribe to all of our main show and all of our sub shows as well. Again, that's stogiegeeks.com and cigar-coop.com. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the next edition of Stogie Geeks News.